talk Zillow specifically about how sellers and buyers should be very careful when going on to the Zillow website to find the value of their home. Here are 3 reasons that Yahoo Finance says be careful. Reasons to be careful for using Zillow. But first, we've got to mention the fact that they totally 100% screwed up this whole process they thought they had down with the iBuyer program, buying property and then selling it and then making a profit and then relying on their Zestimate to be able to anticipate what was going to happen with the market. Yeah, that was a fiasco. So let's just dive right into this one. Welcome back. I'm Tristan. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. Anywhere else, follow me. I've got a great article for you that you're going to want to take a look at with me. Here it is. This one's by Yahoo Finance. Let me zoom out so you can read this with me. And this one states, here, let me shrink this one up. There it is. What the Zillow fiasco can teach home buyers and sellers about property pricing. So a lot of you think, yeah, I can just go online and I can find the value of my home, no problem. That's only part of it, especially when you have companies like Zillow going out there, and because of what's happened in their past, we can't really rely on something like the Zestimate to create the value or really give us the exact value of homes, especially in a shifting market, right? So let's take a look at this. Let's go down. We'll take a look here. It says, if you've ever wondered what you could get from your home, you probably pulled up the real estate listing site Zillow to check its estimate. I have. I'm always taking a look at it. I'm like, are they accurate today? And I'm like, oh no, they're not. Okay, good. However, it says determining a home's value is a delicate process, not something easily accomplished by the push of a button. Is it ever? Right? Problem with the company's estimates forced it to shut down its home buying business and lay off a quarter of its staff. And then Zillow stock plunged 80% from its peak value. Let's take a look at, what was it? This article from Fortune magazine in June. It says Zillow's $6 billion home flipping business was a disaster. Even they noticed, right? And so at this point, everyone is noticing. So I want you to be careful when you go onto Zillow, when you go on anywhere, right? Can we view this via recording? Yeah, you can watch this on YouTube. It'll go onto the YouTube channel, so no worries. So you look at this and it's like Fortune magazine's all over Zillow. That's not the first time they've said, hey, Zillow's kind of a little bit nutty, because this is more of a recent article. It says Zillow economist, here's the home. It says Zillow economist, here's the home price shift coming for your local housing market. And what they really say, and I won't get into it too much, it's a closed article, so I read it. It's great. It says pretty much saying Zillow has now adjusted what they think is going to be the real estate market over the next year, how it's going to continue to grow. And they keep on adjusting every month. Why? Because they don't have a grip on actually what's happening. When we're taking a look at this, we're getting new data all the time, but still, because they rely on something like the Zestimate and it's a changing market, it's really a big challenge, right? And so relying on a company like that is going to be tough for you. So here it is. Here's why it's so hard for Zillow to accurately predict home prices and what you can learn for when you buy, sell, or refinance, right? This is important to me because this is talking directly to the consumer, right? Buyer, seller, refinancing. It says in 2019, which I just went over with that article on Fortune, Seattle-based Zillow launched its iBuyer business called Zillow Offers to purchase homes directly from owners, make repairs, and put them back on the market. All right, and then I didn't highlight this part, but check this out. It says Zillow, I'll highlight it for you right now in yellow. It says Zillow was so confident in its pricing algorithm that it said its estimates would serve as the initial offer price on eligible homes. That didn't last. No, of course not. We already saw when this one, right? Zillow's $6 billion home flipping business was a disaster, right? And they go into that. Well, we won't go into all of that. I wanted to go over this article, this Yahoo Finance article. It says the best ways to determine a home's value. That is important to me because now I'm looking at this and saying, okay, what is the best way? Because I don't want to rely on something that's flawed like the Zillow Zestimate, right? They lost billions. One lesson stands out from Zillow's Fiasco. It says property values can change fast. Yeah, as we're witnessing right now. Do your homework on fair market value. And you know, the more you get into real estate, you realize it's super regional. I mean, you look at markets like Austin, Vegas, and Phoenix versus Los Angeles, Miami, and New York. They're completely different. In some cases, they're polar opposites where things are still moving in some markets. So pay attention to those details. And number one, it says find a qualified real estate agent. Why? Because real estate is regional. Man, find yourself a great agent. Go on Google. Don't go on Zillow. Go on Google. Find a local agent that has great reviews, that works in the area you want, so that you know they have the knowledge that you want. This way you can get, whether it's trying to sell or trying to buy, at least you get somebody who understands the market well, not Zillow. And that's what they're saying, right? I'm just reiterating here. Next is get an appraisal. While not legally required, I think this is great advice. While not legally required, your real estate agent will likely suggest you get an appraisal and include an appraisal contingency in your offer. Now, in the market that we're in right now, where it's more neutral, where we have some buyers and a lot more sellers, in some cases, we're looking at now the buyers have a chance to come in, take a look at a property, take a look at another one, and submit an offer and probably not lose the home they liked. Although right now, almost 40% of homes are still selling for over market value, which is nuts still. And so now you can keep that appraisal in there because a year and a half ago, buyers were removing everything from their offers. So get an appraisal. This way, if you have a loan, if it's all cash, I don't care. All cash buyers, I always say, hey, look, you should probably get an appraisal at least so you understand what the home value is. And typically, if you get an outside appraiser, they come in and they take a look at the property, and based on the comparables close by and the information they have and their experience, they come back and they give you a value. Number 3, which is the last one, by the way. Number 3, look beyond computer-based valuations. I almost felt like, because I read this 3 times, I almost felt like that's kind of going back to this whole article. Like that's the main reason of this article. Don't use a Zillow Zestimate. It says it's tempting to accept the prices spit out by private real estate websites. Zillow, one of many. But remember that those figures are simply estimates. Zillow even says buyers and sellers should supplement Zestimates with their own research. And there's nothing else to this article. You can read some comments behind it. But look, I wanted to show this to you so you can understand that companies out there are now looking at Zillow specifically and saying, hey, you know what? These guys are a joke. Let's be careful with them. Because not only are they kind of throwing all their money and seeing what sticks because they need to make money. They're a publicly traded company. And most of their money, actually, all of their positive cash flow is coming from agents that are buying leads that are coming through and saying, hey, I'm interested in a home. And then they're sending it over to an agent. It's called Zillow Premier Agent, Zillow Flex, Zillow, the programs that work with agents. Everything else is negative. So why is it negative? I had a question here. Why is it negative? Because their stuff's broken. Even Yahoo Finance says it. Fortune says it. You can go on Google and check it out. So before you take Zillow on and say, hey, Zillow says, I want you to pay attention to what's actually happening, knowing that Zillow's made a ton of errors and they haven't fixed their Zestimate. So I want you to understand that you need somebody local. Get an appraiser as well. And then do your own research from multiple different websites. That's it. Thank you so much. Ricardo, can you send over and provide the link for this article? Definitely. If you want to just Google Yahoo Finance Zillow Fiasco, you're going to find it. And One person says they are mad at me, pulled most of my money from them. Yeah, you know what? A lot of agents are pulling the money. But look, Zillow still provides great quality leads because they have over 200 million people visiting Zillow monthly. So I just want you to go in and look at this with your eyes open and say, got it. I know they want to take me out as an agent. I know they want to take me out, but let's use them for what we can. So there you go. Ted, un-Zillow yourself, everyone. I love that. And again, this is living live and recorded on YouTube. If you're on there, follow me, subscribe, whatever it is. I don't even remember what's what anymore. But if you're watching everywhere else, just follow me. Thanks, everybody. Have a good evening or a good day if you're watching it in the